I'm Dan Van Orden, founder of Idea Room, and we're proud to be the official sponsors of the America Builds Better podcast. Enjoy the episode, guys.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Jared.
I am better than I deserve.
Builders of America, are you ready?
The technical fiascos this morning.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
For the longest time, I sat and I okay, so Shannon, is that the way you see it? Is this the way I see it? I witness it every day.
Welcome back to another podcast with America Builds Better.
I'm even more excited, if I'm being honest.
I'm just jazzed to be on the show, guys. Thanks for having me.
Get out in your communities and do something good for somebody else. It will make you feel better, I promise. America Builds Better starts now. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of America Builds Better. My name is Jared, and I am your host for today, as usual. I wanted to give a quick shout out at the top of the episode to our team over at Shieldwall Media. Thank you guys very much. If you are in the need of any kind of trade material, if you're in the post frame community, metal building, or shed space, check out the team at Shieldwall Media. The best part is all the content's free. You just need to sign up. They'll send it right to your door, and you will get all the information about the Builder Show coming up in York. We're going to be there June the 10th and the 11th. We're going to be there with our friends from Idea Room, Smart Build, Graber Post. We're going to have everybody there to shake and howdy and talk about the industry and get excited for the summertime. I also wanted to give a quick shout out and a thank you to Idea Room. As always, the title sponsor of America Builds Better. Couldn't do it without you guys, so we appreciate you. It has been a very fun journey so far. This is going to be episode 4 of our 6-part mini-series leading into the trade show in York, sponsored by Frame Building News and our friends over at Shieldwall Media. I can tell you, we've talked to AccuForm, we've talked to Shieldwall themselves. This is the one that I'm really excited about. We've been trying to put this together for a while. Even when we were doing the other podcast, we were working to get these guys on. And I can tell you, they're a big part of what I do at Dayton Barnes and Five Rivers Pole Barns, as you guys know. They are, man, just it's heads and tails above. And I am so grateful to have them on. The guys from Graber Post are in the house, and they are going to be with us talking about all things post frame, all things trade show. I just want to share the story with you guys. I think that anytime you can feature a legacy business that's been in the industry for a long time and has helped not just build their business, but build others' businesses through their good services and works, it's just something that I am really honored to be a part of, even in the smallest form as a contractor. I can tell you, if you haven't read the book is An Amish Boy's Prayer and an Amish Boy and a Mother's Prayer. And this is Glenn Graber, so I'm going to put this up against me so you can see it. I actually got this copy from Graber when I went to visit recently, and I can tell you, it's just it's been a really good relationship so far, and I'm looking forward to a good future. But I want you guys to have the opportunity to do the same thing that we're doing. I want you to know everything, the insides and outs. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. I'm Jared at americabuildsbetter.com as far as an email address. If you check us out on the website or on the podcast, my contact information is on there. So I'm always willing to help as well. But we've got Trent and Cole from Graber Post, and I am going to go ahead and bring them into the studio here. And there we are. Good morning, guys.
Jared.
How are you?
Jared. We're good. How are you?
I am better than I deserve this morning. I'm really enjoying the setup, fellas. As always, well branded, professional, just on top of it, looking great, man. So I'm honored to have you guys on the podcast. Yeah, I'm honored to have you guys on the podcast. So how are things going at Graber? Tell us a little bit about.
I think we're cruising into the kind of the busy season for a company like us that feeds material into the post frame and metal roofing industry. With the spring weather showing its face, things kind of start to kick off, and we're excited to see what's in store this year. It looks like it's should shape up to be a really good year, and we're excited.
I'll tell you what, post frame is on the rise. As hard as that is to believe, as good as it is, post frame is absolutely on the rise. And I can tell you a big part of that's taking place at Graber Post. I want you guys to introduce yourselves to the audience. I know that most people are probably aware in the post frame space of who Graber is and what you guys do, but it's always unique to hear the perspective directly from you. So tell us a little bit more about Graber and what opportunities and anything you might want to tell us.
Sure. Yep. So I'm Trent Wagler. I'll introduce myself, I guess, first. But I'm Trent Wagler. I am the marketing director / coil division, purchasing, selling. So I handle a little bit of the steel here at Graber Post. So involved on that side, and then just kind of keep tabs on some of the metal manufacturing that goes on here. So kind of a wide variety of duties, but it keeps me busy, keeps me on my toes, and kind of keeps me plugged in and stay in tune with what's going on and what's going out the door. So Graber, so we were founded back in 1973, obviously by Glenn Graber. I'm sure anyone that's in the industry has heard that name. And fast forward to today, it's just the operation that he has curated and built has just been unreal, and I've been a part of it since 2013 after I graduated high school. I got plugged into truss production and had a few different positions through the years, and currently ended up where I am now. So we manufacture, distribute literally about everything you can imagine or need for a post frame or metal roof install. We stock it all, and I feel like that's obviously our key advantage over a lot of companies is you can literally get a package on one truck, one invoice, one delivery, and it's got everything from A to Z that you're going to need to construct your building or install your metal roof. And it's all quality material. It's not just no knockoff. What we send out, we're going to be proud, and we want to have our name branded on that item. So that's kind of what we focus and build on, and seems like the rest kind of takes care of itself.
Yeah, I can speak firsthand, and we had used let's just say other avenues before we got introduced to Graber. And when you say you get the whole package, brother, you're not joking. It's the whole package. It's dropped right off. It's ready to go. There is no guesswork. It is as straightforward as it could possibly be. And it just that part of the process, if that's all Graber Post did was simply doing the materials part of the business, that would be enough to convince me to say, hey, Graber Post is worth taking a second look at. But there's so much more that goes on as far as the production side. Cole, you want to introduce yourself, brother? You're being quiet this morning.
That's not my norm either. But so I'm Cole, and I started. We were actually were trying to figure this out earlier. I came into Graber Post. We're thinking maybe it was around 2008, and had always been friends with Glenn, the owner, and at one point, quite honestly, I got my start here. I was on a nighttime cleaning crew, trying to get an insurance agency started, so I needed to have some guaranteed money. So I was cleaning at night, and that led into Glenn and I talking. And then I came in and had a variety of jobs. I've been on a roll former, I've been on a trim brake, and that transitioned into coming inside to help with steel purchasing and coil sales. And then Trent started working with us in that avenue. I actually took a little hiatus. Went to take a national sales manager's position in another company, but I'm back. You can't stay away. Graber's home, and so here I am. And so now my role is more of an outside sales manager. It's kind of a hybrid role. We do have outside sales team members, but also going around to see folks like yourself, Jared, or wholesale accounts, and trying to analyze some data and maybe throw some ideas at some guys. As you mentioned in your introduction, one of the things that we do is we help others build a business as well, and so want to help our clients identify items that we know are successful. Products, things that do sell and do add value to a build, and identify some guys maybe that aren't taking advantage of that, and help explain to them what the value of whatever that particular product may be. And so that'll be a pretty good size role for me. As you know, we have a a lot of customers, and
Yes, you do.
the only thing I'd like to mention, Trent, I gave a lot of good background on Gerber Post, but I think one thing that helps us a bunch is there's not a rep in here that one of our customers would talk to that hasn't been on a building crew. Maybe they may have not owned, like in your situation, they may not have been the contractor, but they were on the crew, including myself and Trent. We all have some building background. In my case, I was always on the dumb end of the tape, but I was there. I was back when we were nailing pole barns, and so I've swung the hammer. But most of our guys have very good experience, a lot of experience, and I think that helps immensely when you're a contractor and you need to talk to somebody. You're talking to somebody that's been in your shoes. I think that's a huge advantage for us.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I was sitting here as you were building that. I was sitting here thinking about all of the knowledge that I've gained by working with Graber Post. All of the employees are so friendly and so willing to help you. And as far as the outside sales team, I mean, what a team of guys, right? I mean, that's if you're sitting there thinking you don't want to be bothered, you don't want to be hassled, think about the amount of work that you're putting in right now to source your materials. That's really what I want to stress here, is think about the stress involved with getting the materials, bill of materials, how you invoice, everything that goes into the process of how you actually sell your buildings. Whether you're a dealer or a contractor, this can benefit you. If you're a dealer that's just trying to put together pole barn kits and doing it that direction, Graber Post has a solution for you. If you are a contractor and you have a business, maybe you're doing metal roofing, or maybe you're doing some pole barn activity and post frame activity, this is an opportunity for you to scale forward without really much of an investment at all. If you already have the infrastructure, Graber is going to supply you with necessary tools, necessary instruction and education, and get you going in the right direction. I'm a testament of that. You guys watched us as we did the Steel Kings podcast last year over, 18 months or so. You guys watched us. We updated you along the way as we built this business, Five Rivers Pole Barns, and we are having a really good time doing it. We're starting to employ more people. We're starting to put up more buildings. And all of that is of major thanks to Graber Post. We could not have done it without them. If we would not have had, we tried. We were beating our heads against the wall, quite frankly, trying to source lumber, trying to find, a way to invoice properly, a way to do 3D designing with the building. Trent, tell us a little bit more, brother, about the benefits. To me, they're endless. There's so many you probably can't name them all as far as what you can bring to a benefit. No, seriously. You guys laugh. I do a good job of, I want to pat myself on the back for a minute. I do a good job of trying to tell people the way that I do things and be very clear and transparent with that. And I don't mind telling you who I use as a supplier. It's not a secret. I want to ride high with Graber Post because I'm using a quality product that has a legacy behind it. I've been to the facility. You guys have you can see it over the shoulder of Cole and Trent there in the background there. That's the facility, and that's just one. You guys service now 25 states, I think. By best guess,
I would say
25
I would
states.
say in a month's time, I wouldn't be shocked if that's the number. I think on average, on a typical week, we're probably pushing trucks into 15, 16 states, repetitively. But then obviously we do have customized building packages that is just maybe a one and done type deal, and we may drop it in Texas or it might be Georgia, who knows where. But we do have a lot of those that will pop up here and there. So.
Well, of course, our other manufacturing facility in Missouri would touch on some weekly routes that we're not touching on.
Yeah.
But we do have Martin Metals out in Missouri that's also manufacturing.
Yeah, and that opens up a whole different can of worms there with Martin Metals. That opens up a whole different section of the country. And I can tell you, if you're sitting there, we just got back from Oklahoma City from the NFBA trade show. Big shout out to the team over at NFBA. I know Glenn had a big part and a big role in the creation of the NFBA. I know that the Graber is a legacy business for NFBA, so we appreciate that as well. But if you're sitting there and you're in the, and you're in the Midwest, the strong Midwest, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, reach out to the team at Martin Metals. You're going to get the same quality service you get from Graber. You're going to get the same type materials, same type of benefits. And we'll have Martin on at some point. The guys over at Martin, matter of fact, I've got his card here on my desk somewhere. I got yours, Trent. I got his floating around here. Jonathan. Jonathan's the outside sales rep for Martin. So, and these are the guys that are going to come and talk to you. I got to give a quick shout out to my buddy Tim. Tim Fox has been an absolute advocate for us. He has been a next level teacher, friend, companion, confidant. And that's the kind of service we get from Graber. I want to stress that to the audience right now. Like, this is really a love project for me. When I say we've been trying to get Graber on, they're busy. And I can tell you, they want to be busy working for you. That's the truth. Yeah. They take care of contractors. They absolutely go to the next level for their contractors. And that's an important thing. Trent, I asked
Jared,
you.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, brother.
No, I was going to say, you're giving a shout out to Tim. I was seeing some emails this morning. Tim is, I don't know, what's Tim live, an hour and a half from here, probably. And been on the road all week. Those guys, they stay out till Thursday. I saw an email this morning. He's actually running in to pick up a few pieces of board and batten for one of his customers that needs something. And so this is a paperwork day for him, but he's probably driven, 1,500 miles this week. And he's going to go ahead and run down here and pick up some items that one of his customers needs to finish up a job. So I'll give a shout out to Tim as well. Those guys do that stuff. Kevin, Tim, that's what they do.
Windshield warriors and huge advocates for their contractors. I can tell you. That's the kind of next level service you don't get unless you're working with the right team. And I can tell you from our perspective here at America Builds Better, there's no better team than Graber. I asked you, Trent, and I cut you off. I get to rambling every once in a while. Asked you about benefits. I want to hear directly from you all what you feel like is the benefit package of Graber Post, not just the quality of the material. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So Cole and I, we were just kind of throwing some ideas out just to have some topic points as we kind of go through this. And we rambled off several of them. Obviously the list probably goes on and on, but some of the key points we see, obviously we were founded in 73. So we got over 50 years in this facility alone of knowledge, of friendships, of partnerships, of just relationships that we've built through the years that keeps us plugged in all the different markets and industries and, the different products that are in the market. And so I feel like that's a very big key to what Graber can do for, a contractor like you or another individual. But, we feel like we put in the time and the research and building that confidence and saying we have the products that we want to use on a building that we actually install for a client, over in a 2-hour radius of our facility here in Montgomery. But we also feel confident in saying if we send this to Pennsylvania, to South Carolina, wherever it may be, we're confident in those products being as good or better than what they're going to be sourcing out that way, at a local spot. So I feel like that's a big key to what Graber has built through the years. And you've been to our facility, you've been on a tour through production, you've seen the inventory, you've seen, the doors, the windows, the coil inventory that's on hand. I feel like the buying power that Graber has kind of pushed us to a new level that maybe your local mom and pop shop may not have, which, I say a local mom and pop shop, I feel like Graber is still very much ran like a mom and pop shop, but we do have that outreach that maybe a lot of them do not. So just a couple little quick points. Cole, if you want to throw a couple out, go ahead. But
yeah, I think to Trent's point, this is it's still a family-run business. We have the ability to make decisions fast and quick. If we see a new product we like, we're able to go get it. Whatever machine that takes. We're installing. Trent actually had a little video up the other day. Just got a new Bradbury machine in for some trim profiles and anything that looks like it's holding us up. We have the advantage of a family that supports the business, and so we get to take advantage of that, I guess, as you would say. But also, I think I think another big point for us is, we have in-house professional engineers, we have in-house architect, we have in-house draftsmen. We don't have to outsource a lot. If somebody has questions, our reps have the ability to walk upstairs and ask an engineer. The guys that can stamp trusses, they're in-house. So I think that's a huge thing for us. But probably, I do think at the end of the day, it goes back to who our people are and what their experiences are. This company was built by a contractor. Glenn Graber was out. He was a contractor. He just got to the point where his suppliers couldn't keep up with him. And that's how this kind of got going. So to Trent's point, the materials that we're shipping, the advice we're giving, we use that every day. We build barns too. And, we probably execute 800 to 1,000 contracts a year with our 32 crews to handle roofing and barns in like Trent said, a small radius. But there's, I think that we probably catch the lion's share of that type of business in that radius. So, but I think that those are big parts of it. And we do have a large network of dealers. So we are available. Our products are available in a lot of places. And with still our support coming from Montgomery for Graber or Versailles for Martin.
Yeah. I can tell you from my experience, what I have enjoyed the absolute most is the quality of the end components for the consumer. I think that part of it for me has been absolutely next level. We trust. We don't have to verify anymore. We just trust that what we're getting is what we need. We don't have to worry about it anymore. And that's a peace of mind that there's really not a value on it. Because when you're sending a crew out, like we subcontract a lot of our projects, right? We have sub crews here locally that work, through us at Five Rivers. And I can tell you the worst call you're going to get is from a sub that doesn't have what they need, because it's either holding up time or it's holding up money or both. A lot of times it's both. And I cannot put a value on the amount of ease of use that Graber's brought to our table. I think one of the biggest advantages that I've seen personally is your integration with Smart Build, the legacy that you have, the knowledge you have, not just on Smart Build, but literally people on staff that can guide you through Smart Build, specifically set up for Graber. And you're setting up your bill of materials, you're setting up your invoicing, you're setting up all of that in such a professional way that it's almost hard to fail. And that's why I brought up the piece of building businesses. To me, when you take the benefits, the packages that you have as far as the quality of materials, and you position that with something like Smart Build, now you've got something that somebody can really sink their teeth into and really take their business or start a business from the ground up and take it to the next level. Do you guys see it that way? I know you do, but maybe give me your opinion, Trent. I've never heard you. I've heard Tim tell me. I've heard Tim and Kenny and Delmer and then the team there kind of give me their review, but I've never heard it from you, Trent. I can tell you, as somebody that's doing it, it means a lot.
Yeah, sure. No, and I played a little part in the original setup of Smart Build, but it was a very little piece. So I never really got to dig my feet in and kind of learn the ins and outs and exactly how powerful that tool is. But I do know just from attending, the NFBA, different Shield Wall Media trade shows that we attend throughout the year, I hear the feedback secondhand all the time. How many more proposals they can send out the door just working an extra hour of an evening while they're at home after putting in, a full day at the job site or going around and looking at jobs or whatever that may be, to where they can enter that building, they can, put all the finishing touches on it, do the 3D animate, the 3D pictures, send it to the customer, send them a link to where they can view the live, 360 view. They can make notes to, maybe change this, change that, whatever it may be. And it just streamlines things so much. And then once that proposal is finalized, the customer, they're ready to move forward with it. Well, with the way Smart Build and the way we can integrate it with our systems, I mean, it is literally a click of the button. Your sales rep will, approve it. It can be pushed to production, sent to dispatch to get a delivery date set. Things just are in motion. As soon as things are finalized, it comes alive really quick.
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest benefit that you have currently, other than the material itself. Because as I talk to more contractors, obviously working with Defined and working with Idea Room, we talk to a lot of contractors who have Smart Build. And what I'm trying to stress to you, if you're listening to me right now, is if you're struggling with Smart Build, setting up your own Smart Build, trying to work with a local lumber yard, trying to figure out product numbers and pricing and all of that, like, forget about that. Throw that junk out the window. It's antiquated. It's out. Your fix is with Graber Post, because when you sign up and start to work with Graber Post, you're going to get Smart Build with their pricing that's updated in real time. So somebody takes care of that for you. Now you've got that burden off your plate, right? Now you have access to the same quality build tool that you've always had with Smart Build, pricing with Graber, invoicing, setup, custom invoicing. It's so easy. It's simple. The team at Smart Build is great because they're happy to help. But what I stress about the relationship with Graber is, Delmer is just next level. He knows everything about Smart Build there is to know, and he'll give you every shortcut, every tool and trick in the book. And I mean, we've done some stuff here too. We've sent some stuff over to Delmer, and Delmer's utilized that. It's been great to be able to work in that kind of close, because we use 3D design all the time. Obviously, this podcast is sponsored by Idea Room. We love the guys at Smart Build. The integration now between Smart Build and Idea Room gives us a customer-facing lead gen tool that the post frame industry has really longed for some time, because now you can take it from a customer's design in their bedroom at 10:30 at night, or on their couch over dinner at the table. They're flipping through their phone. They're doing it anyways. If they see a opportunity to design their future pole barn project, and you can take that pole barn design that they've made and take it to bill of materials in just a handful of clicks, it doesn't get any better than that. So really, from concept to reality in no time flat, while you're still worried about pricing the local builder's supplies in your Smart Build. I mean, think about the time. I mean, I'm serious. Right. Time is money. I said it earlier. I'll say it again. Time is money. And if you're wasting time, you're doing it wrong, because everybody else is getting out in front of it. There's so many different things going on in the industry, but I can tell you, if you don't work with the right supplier, you might as well just put it in overdrive. You're going to be working all the time. You're going to be stressed out. You're going to get materials to the job site that aren't ready. You're not going to get enough. What I can tell you is, from your 3D design all the way through the process, the materials are going to show up. They're going to be right, and they're going to be the high quality. I think I did a good job on that, Trent, right? Is that a good explanation? Is that a good explanation?
Kind of a building point on top of that, when the material arrives to your job or to your yard, wherever you're having that dropped at, it's by a Graber employee. We have our own logistics company that is actually bringing the freight to you. So it's not like it's a secondhand trucking company that's hauling for us. It is actually a Graber employee that works for Graber Post. So I feel like that kind of puts the bow on top, I guess you could say, and everything from start to finish is handled in-house 100%. So I think that is kind of
the bow on the top. That is the bow on the top, Trent.
Yep.
At no point do you lose the process. At no point do you have to work with someone who's not at Graber Post.
Right.
It's you and it's Graber Post, and it's this partnership between Graber and Contractor that is just such a good relationship that it's going to be long lasting. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've never talked to anybody, and I've talked to a lot of folks. Okay. Mm-hmm. I talked to a ton of people at NFBA. The feedback I got, so I was working with Defined, and we're trying to sell marketing packages, right? We're talking to contractors about, what 3D designer they're using, what supplier they're using. First of all, the people that are using Graber are very satisfied and happy customers. I didn't run into anybody that said anything otherwise. Number two, the people that I spoke to that were doing things kind of the antiquated way, trying to do their own Smart Build or didn't have Smart Build at all, were just shocked at how much you can get by just working with the right supplier. Because I think I was sending people over to the booth. You guys had a beautiful booth space at the NFBA trade show. And I want to kind of highlight that going into York, right? I mean, we're all super excited about the York trade show. This is more contractor focused. This is more hands-on. It's in York, so it's in the heart of post-frame pole barn country, back kind of where we want to be here in the Midwest, the true Midwest, the Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana type market. We're excited about it, man. I can tell you, we're just jazzed. The team at Shield Wall, Idea Room, Defined, Graber, we're in a small huddle. Right? The four of us are right in that. So if you're wanting to talk to Smart Build or Idea Room or Defined or Graber, we're right next to each other. We can walk you through the entire process of how to become supplied by Graber Post, serviced by Idea Room and Smart Build, taken care of by Defined if you need marketing help. We want to make sure to create this kind of one-stop shop, because if you're serious about a supplier, Graber's the one I'd use. And I don't even think there's a second out there right now. In my opinion, you guys stand heads and tails above the competition.
Yeah, well, we appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely. If you're considering coming out to the trade show in York, yeah, please stop by. I know Jared, I know the guys at Idea Room, Shield Wall, they'd all be more than happy to talk with you and show them what they can do for you to help your company go to the next level. And I think that's ultimately what everyone's goal is.
And from our end, Delmer will be there. He's kind of our in-house expert.
Awesome.
So I just booked rooms for me and Delmer yesterday, so we're ready to roll. We'll see. I'm sure Tim or Kevin will be there as well, if not both. But
I can tell you, we
will be there.
Yeah, if nothing else, stop by and grab a piece of merch or swag. Graber always has great stuff and promos to give away. You guys have the best gear. I got a hat that I wear all the time. You guys got the best hats, the best gear. I'll tell you. I can tell you, Trent, you're doing an amazing job. I heard you were the one that got the big stage. They had this for the people that weren't at NFBA. They had this like pillar. I don't even know how to describe it. It was like a four-sided large. I mean, it was what, 20 feet tall? I don't know. It was awesome.
I didn't have to assemble it, so I don't know. But I did play a part in it.
Yeah, it was awesome looking. And I mean, to me, that's again, when you ride with someone that has that kind of quality in mind, they're setting forth like they want to ride with you at that quality, and they'll bring you to that level. They'll energize you and make you feel a sort of way. It makes me feel a sort of way because, trust me, you guys know I was a steel building guy. 2 years ago, I was all steel buildings all the time. Couldn't have gave me a post frame building. I have buddies in the industry that I would always say, hey, I know this guy over here that does post frame buildings. Go check him out. Check out the team at DIY Pole Barns. I used to give Mike, my friend up there, so much business because I didn't want to deal with it. It just was out of my wheelhouse. And then, God bless Tim Fox. I can tell you, he was a stubborn guy. He wasn't taking no for an answer. And he just kept digging on me. And, man, he told me the story one time. Man, it was probably 2 years ago, every bit of 2 years ago when I first met Tim. I met him at a trade show. And look at how much my life's changed because of Graber Post. And that's a serious testimony. Like, that's not a joke. 2 years ago, I met Tim at a trade show. And from there, he just kept on. Well, it's actually 3 years ago I met him, and then 2 years ago was the talk. So it's been a while. But I can tell you, that determination of wanting to work with Dayton Barnes at the time, and the idea of, man, you should really get into this. You guys have the knack for it. You guys have the marketing expertise. You guys have the sales team already. He motivated me to start another business that's now employing more people and is now having more success because of that relationship with Graber Post. And he had nothing to gain from me at first other than just shaking my hand and saying hello. And that's why I'm such an advocate for it, because I feel like Graber was an advocate for me. And I really feel that relationship, that one-to-one relationship, is important in this industry where you can trust your supplier. I know that if I place an order with Graber, I'm going to get the material I ordered. Period. I know it. I trust it. When Trent said the coil room for any guy that's in steel, let me just tell you something. There is nobody that has coil like Graber Post. Y'all got some coil. Y'all got, I don't know what that building is. It's huge. It's massive.
So we're actually building like a, goodness, I'm not even sure what the width is.
I was hoping you'd say that. 60,000 square feet is what's been reported, Trent.
Yeah,
that's a pretty big building.
Feet, so
60,000
square feet. It's going to house a brand new split line, which will add some capacity on that side of business. So yeah, we're just excited. We're trying to plug pieces in where we're currently could use some additional production capacity, and that's one thing, like Cole mentioned earlier. Whenever that issue comes forward, we're willing to make decisions and put things in places that's going to help us grow.
A company that's expanding, right? A company that's expanding. The new facility's coming to Ashley, Indiana. So if you're local to the area, it's a 60,000 square foot facility. It's going to be mainly metal manufacturing and distribution out of that facility. At least that's what's being reported. But I can tell you, it's going to be awesome. And again, just expanding the outward reach of Graber Post Buildings. I can tell you, fellas, we're going to have you back. We've already talked about another episode in the future, talking a little bit more, maybe doing some how to get in contact with Graber, that kind of thing, maybe walking through steps. We'll get some feedback on this episode and kind of let you know what the audience needs to hear. But how do we get in touch with you guys? How would you prefer, if someone's listening, how do you want them to reach out to Graber Post?
You want to take that one, Cole?
Sure. I don't know our 800 number off the top of my head. No, if you want to know the truth.
It's 800-264-5013.
Yeah.
You got it. It's been on there the whole time.
Right there on the thing. I know our local number. I don't. So give us a call. Just let us know. You can do online submissions. Those go to Trent.
Yep.
And through our website, and he will filter that back out to where it needs to go. So if it's a potential wholesale contractor, it'll probably show up to me or Kenny Wagler, and we will make sure that one of us or one of the sales guys get in touch with you. But whatever that need is, it could be a phone call, it could be online. Find us at the shows. We'll be at York. We're a pretty regular exhibitor at most shows that pertain to this industry, and so we try to be available. We try to make it easy, and guys like you, we appreciate you having us on.
For sure.
This helps us as well to go meet some folks, and
it's been
that's what we really like to do.
It's been a real honor and pleasure to have you guys on the show this morning. I want to give one more shout out, graberpost.com, 1-800-264-5013. Contact the team at Graber Post. They will be happy to get you the information that you need. My challenge to you this week is don't hesitate to make that call. Okay? Don't be stubborn. Don't be hard-headed. Don't be contentious. Make a phone call, reach out. If you're feeling some sort of way about your current situation, Graber Post can help. I promise. They helped me out. And if they're helping me out, they'll help anybody out, because I'm not special. I'm not anything more than anybody else. I'm just a contractor like you guys are. I can tell you, as we finish up this week, I would be remiss if I didn't say one more thank you to Shield Wall Media, Idea Room, and Defined SEO. We could not do the show without them. We look forward to having Graber back in the future. Check out the Post Frame Rural Plane Builder show in York, PA, June the 10th, the 11th, 2026. We are more than honored and proud. America Builds Better will be outside. We'll be doing interviews. We'll be shooting content. We'll be hanging out with everybody. The team from Graber, Defined, Shield Wall, Idea Room, Smart Build, many others. It's going to be a great time. I can tell you, as we finish out this week, as always, get out in your communities and do something good for somebody else. I promise you it'll make you feel better. In these times, we need it. So have a great week, guys. Thank you again to Graber, and we will see you all next week for another episode of America Builds Better. Bye.
Thanks, Jared.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Hang out with me for a few. Thank you for checking out America Builds Better. If that episode fired you up, make sure you hit subscribe, leave a review, and share this with someone who's ready to level up. We are dropping powerful content filled with strategies, stories, and real talk from the builders shaping the industry. Stay hungry, stay focused, and keep building better. Make sure to check us out at americabuildsbetter.com for more resources and industry tools. This is America Builds Better, where the industry talks back.